All right, today we're gonna talk about kind of your meeting planning. And this really is a combo with the last video where I talk about your ideal day, week, and month. So if you haven't watched that video, please go back and watch that because you'll see how this ties into the last video as well. But what's really important as you've built out that ideal week and month and year and so forth is what's the meeting planning look like? You know, too many businesses get bogged down with meetings that are just endless, that really don't matter. They're not productive. And again, if it's just you, well, maybe you're not having those meetings, but maybe you are and not realizing it. You end up wasting time because you're planning this over here. I see it often, right? I see this sort of overexcited underachiever in business. And a lot of it's because we're wasting time planning or talking about planning or meeting to plan, right? All of those things. So what's the rhythm of your business for planning? So let's talk about that. The first is your annual planning meeting. And this needs to get on your calendar right away, right? What's typically either the end of the year in December or right away in January. We try to do ours either at the end of the year, December, depending on how the calendar works for scheduling, or the very right away in January. This annual planning meeting is very important, right? It's where you're gonna create your 1-3-5, review your mission, vision, and values. And again, if you're not familiar with how to do that, go back and watch our previous series or our previous videos in this series on that. So your annual planning is super important because you're going to review all of those things and you're going to continue to create your plans for this next year. So one annual planning meeting on the calendar for the year. Now we're going to break that into 90-day review meetings. So you're gonna have 3 of those, right? Yes, there's 4 quarters, but the 4th one is your annual review. So on your calendar, create your annual review. Let's say it's in January, right? So January is your annual review. Well, then you're gonna go January, February, March, sometime either the end of March or first part of April, you need to have a 90-day review in there. Then go another 90 days, put a 90-day review. And this is typically going to be a half to full day, just like your annual meeting is, because you have to review all of the things we're talking about in this series once a year and every 90 days. And so if you are a solopreneur, then I would encourage you to either jump into our mastery program to find coaches and mentors. If you don't have a coach or mentor, that's a great place for you to go. If you consider reaching out to them to hire them and say, hey, would you work through my annual planning day, my 90-day review day? Would you work with me on this blueprint? Because being able to bounce it off someone, sometimes you can't see the very deficiencies you have in your business. I always go back to when I played football in high school and college. You know, I would think I did something right on the football field, and the coaches would always say the eye in the sky never lies. And I could go back and watch video and see, did I do it right? Was my first step correct? You can't in the moment see that. And that's what a coach can do for you in business. And that's what they'll do as you go through this. So after you've got your 1-year plan, your 90-day reviews, then you're gonna have a weekly meeting every single week that you must have, even just with yourself, where you go, I am blocking this time once a week, recurring meeting, where I sit down and I review. Where am I on my 1-3-5? If you don't know what the 1-3-5 is, go back and watch that video. Make sure you understand what the 1-3-5 is. Where am I on my scorecard, which we'll talk about in a future video? You know, where am I at in my sales numbers? Where am I at with this? What do I need to change? What are the issues that need to be solved in my business? Having a place that you can do that every week, because now you've got these 90-day goals that you've set, this 90-day review. Every week you're gonna be tracking, am I on track to hit that 90-day review? You know, it's amazing that people have meetings just to have meetings. And what we've done in our company is our meetings are on purpose. They're totally on track. We are focused on creating meetings that have accountability. We show up and track our scorecards. Our meetings show up to solving issues, discussing them, leaning into them, and moving through that. This one thing, if you can really dial in your meeting rhythm to where they are dialed into accountability and solving issues, you'll be amazed at what you'll be able to accomplish every 90 days as you move through it. And then you'll look back in 1 year and go, man, I really underestimated what was possible to do in this period of time. So now get these on your calendar, and if you need help in what kind of agenda to run in your annual, your 90-day, and your weekly meetings, reach out to me. I'd be glad to share an agenda with you, just some of the sample agendas we use in our meetings for you. So if this was helpful, share it with a friend. Any new business owners you know, invite them to this business series because it's gonna help them launch their business successfully. This is what we do in Master Networks. This is what we talk about. So stay tuned in the next video and I'll tell you more about how you can get involved in a Master Networks chapter to now grow your business, because now it's time to put the pedal to the floor and get out there and grow the business.